Good morning. I'm outside for a walk, and I was thinking or remembering this conversation I was listening on the internet between two women. They were talking about men and women relationships. They were pretty much talking about the obvious that everybody knows. Um, Men have a cycle of 24 hours. That's why it's connected to the sun. It's a 24-hour cycle. So, for instance, in terms of sexuality, men are ready to do it every day. Sometimes multiple times a day, depends on the levels of testosterone. Women, on the other hand, it's not the same case. Women follow a 27-day cycle, which is closer to the moon. It's closer to a month cycle, to the moon cycle, so which has 13 months a year. All right, so women will be more prone to sex, and they will seek the company of men around ovulation, for instance. They will find men irresistible, especially their men. After ovulation, they go into hibernation, meaning the body might think they are pregnant and they will go into hibernation. So it will preserve energy and also would ease, the triggering of the egg, will ease the magic spark that creates life. So they become more lazy after ovulation, Now, how do you see this in a modern world? What kind of situation? I mean, it's completely the opposite of what we should be doing. Comparing to this information. For instance, the schooling system. The schooling system puts people in a situation they will definitely have to go against nature, and it will penalize some individuals, especially men, and it will benefit women. And I'll try to explain why. Well, first off, it will take at least 20 minutes if someone gets distracted. For instance, you are talking, concentrated, or learning, or studying, or whatever, and you get distracted by your phone, by your smartphone. That's why you always should keep your notifications, mute, or even turn off the damn thing when you are in situations that you require concentration. If you get distracted by the ringtones, or distracted by something else, for instance, a hot woman that passes in front of you, or a hot guy, you get distracted and you lose concentration. It will take around 20 minutes to return to that point. Yes. So, when we arrive at the age 12, 13, 14, I mean, it's when most people, start, menstruating, and men become sexually active. For the most part, there's always cases that takes longer, and those cases that take longer are the ones who are going to benefit from the schooling system. Men will become extremely distracted in mixed schools. 100%. Mixed schools will distract them constantly. And that's why, jocks, the ones who have more testosterone, they will be less productive in school. Au contraire, the nerds and the geeks, those who are not interested, who are less, sexual, those will have better productivity in school. And the same thing goes for women. Since their cycle is every month, they will have more chances of becoming more productive in school than men with high testosterone. Normal men, with normal levels of manhood. So a thing that should be, considered mandatory was splitting the sexes around school. In the beginning, it might sound tyrannical, especially for, kids. They want to be around everybody. But when you grow up and become an adult, you will understand that what the mixed schools are doing is tyranny. That's why women have better results after a certain age than men. They are mostly at the same level, but when we become sexually active, that's when things, get derailed. That's why we have more women in universities than men nowadays. Only the geeks and the low testosterone, are achievers. Yeah, the ones who have more testosterone and are normal, those are constantly distracted, quote unquote, by all the women in school. Is atrocious. I mean, we carry a loaded gun, every 24 hours we carry a loaded gun, man, in our pants. I'm not joking. I was listening to this woman in another discussion, and she said, if you want to keep the side chick away, just practice one blowjob a day. That's what she said, If your man cheats on you, it's your fault. Just do what you have to do every day, and it will be fine. But some women, especially after marriage, they just go sexless. Yes, sometimes for decades. And no wonder why men seek, paid sex, or, I don't know, some other chick who decides to destroy their marriage. I mean, that's what happens the most. But anyway, there's a lot of factors into, because some women nowadays are marrying the wrong guy. When you are marrying the wrong person, that's what happens. Because most of our perceptions have been derailed by media, by society, by chemicals, by castration drugs. Our perceptions have been numbed. Our perceptions have been derailed, and it's quite confusion. The only thing that might fix this situation is Sharia law. Sometimes I joke about it, and I don't want it to come true, but sometimes I think, yeah, that would fix pretty much everything. We need evil even more powerful than this evil, so to speak. Reason, logic, and facts doesn't interest anybody at all, because what's popular is obviously untrue. The truth is not popular at all. So, the rich, for instance, the rich and wealthy and powerful, they know about these slight nuances, these slight details. So they have their children, in single women or single boys school. Absolutely. And you know what? Another thing that most people are not aware, each one of us is different. Each one of us is an individual, and each one of us, goes about life at a different speed. Everybody has their own, pace. All right? Each one of us, for example, is capable of walking 10 kilometers. Each one of us is capable, no matter how old you are, no matter what kind of a disease you are. You might, depending on the disease, and that's not, exaggerate, but you will definitely reach the 10 kilometer, but if you go at your own pace. If you go at your own pace, anyone can do it. That's my point. But if you impose, you have to go under this time, then it's going to be a small percentage that's going to make it. The rest are not going to make it. So the schooling system is rigged. It's rigged. Certain groups will achieve better than others because each one of us is at a different pace. The rich put their children in single sex schools, and they go about at their own rhythm. That's why you have politicians, for instance, that stayed in university until their 30s. Yeah, they were not forced to finish the university in their early 20s and start working immediately. No, they took their time. They enjoyed life. You might not be good at this thing right now, but someday later you might become good at it. We all follow a different rhythm. Yes, the schooling public system is rigged. Is rigged, It will benefit some people at the price of others. Yes. Just because you're bad in school, it doesn't mean you are, retarded or something. No. In fact, any person who achieved and is now a trillionaire never went to university, It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's normally the people who go to university and finish university early on that are the most obedient. That's what they are seeking, the most obedient of them all, that follow orders. They are trying to create this group, this almost like every civil servant is part of that group. They are the ones who reinforce tyranny. You know, everybody that is a civil servant is part of this category. You see, the system knows what it's doing. By putting all those roadblocks, they're derailing anyone that becomes a threat. What they want is a servant, a serf, that is 100% dependent on the system. They don't want you to create, relationships. They don't want even you to create relationships with your own family. They want you to be highly dependent on the authority, on the experts. This is what a Soviet is, an expert, a society in which everybody is highly, obedient and trust the experts. You remember when they used to say, trust the experts, they know everything. That's what a Soviet is. It's a society ruled by experts. And they are not voted in, they are chosen. They are self-appointed, some of them. And they only choose amongst their groups. They can't let anyone that has a dissonant voice to join. Yeah. We've been living under this soft tyranny for a long time. Yeah, it's been perfected. It's been perfected, and now it's at its peak. We are living through it, and it starts from the school. The school is get them young. If you are able to get them young, you will be able to program. That's what the Jesuits told in the early, 1500s. They used to say this, get them young and they will do whatever you want for the rest of their lives. Anyway. I think I'm going to shut up now. Tell me what you guys think. Have a nice day.